The Untold Stories of Wukong. What you never knew about the Monkey King. Wukong, the legendary Monkey King, born from stone, wreaking havoc in heaven, battling demons, and journeying to the west. You think you know his story, right? But what if I told you there are hidden stories that were never included in Journey to the West? Forgotten legends, lost myths, and secrets that reveal a completely different side of Wukong today. We dive deep into the untold history of the Monkey King. Story number 1, the King of Flower Fruit Mountain. Wukong's secret reforms. Wukong wasn't born a king. In fact, his rule over the monkeys of Flower Fruit Mountain was not an easy one. Before he became the great sage equal to heaven. Before he even met his master, he had to build his own kingdom. At first, the monkeys were chaotic fighting, stealing, and often being hunted by wild beasts. Wukong had to change that, so he created rules. The strong had to protect the weak. Scouts were sent to gather food. Warriors trained to defend their land. He even led his own monkey army into battle, defeating a pack of wolves that threatened their home. That was the day the monkeys truly saw him as their king. But here's something even crazier. You probably thought Wukong met his master, Bodhi, right away. Nope. Some legends say he actually searched for years, wandering from mountain to mountain, seeking a teacher. Many rejected him. Some even warned him, "You were born powerful, but you will never become a true immortal." It wasn't until a mystical crane led him across the ocean that he finally found his destined Master Bodhi patriarch. Story number 2, 500 years trapped. What did Wukong do under the mountain? 500 years. Do you know how long that is? Not a day, not a year 180 to 1,500 days. Wukong, the once proud Monkey King, was crushed beneath the 5 Elements mountain. No food, no water, no escape. At first, he was furious. He shouted, "Buddha, you tricked me. When I get out, I'll tear down your Western paradise." But days turned to months. Months turned to years. Nobody came. Even the gods had forgotten about him. At first, he tried everything to escape. He pushed, he focused his mind. He even tried to summon his magic, but his powers were completely sealed. The mountain didn't move an inch. Then something changed. Wukong began to think, was I truly the great sage? If I was, why did I lose? Over centuries, his anger faded. He started listening to the wind, the rain, the earth itself. Some Buddhist legends even say that during those 500 years, he quietly meditated and gained a deeper understanding of the Tao. And that is why, when Tang Sanzong finally arrived, Wukong was no longer the reckless warlord he once was. He was ready for something greater. Story number 3, Wukong and Erlang Shen. Enemies or secret allies? Erlang Shen, show me what you've got. The battle between Wukong and Erlang Shen was one of the greatest duels in Chinese mythology. One was heaven's finest warrior, the other was the rebellious Monkey King. They clashed across mountains and skies, neither gaining the upper hand. But here's the secret: they weren't just enemies. According to some stories, they were kindred spirits. Erlang Shen, the nephew of the Jade Emperor, was not fully accepted by the gods because his mother was mortal. Meanwhile, Wukong was never welcomed in heaven, seen as nothing more than a monster dot in some hidden legends. After Wukong was imprisoned under the 5 Elements mountain, Erlang Shen secretly helped him. It is said that while heaven forbade anyone from assisting Wukong, Erlang would sometimes send a falcon to drop food near the mountain. He never said a word, but through his actions, he showed a silent message: "I understand your pain. Survive this, and your time will come. Story number 4, the truth about the six-eared macaque in Journey to the West. There was one creature who perfectly copied Wukong so perfectly, even Wukong himself couldn't tell the difference. This was the six-eared macaque. But here's the mystery: why was it so powerful? And why couldn't anyone but Buddha see through the disguise? Some legends say that the six-eared macaque wasn't just an imposter, it was a part of Wukong himself. This other monkey wasn't a rival, it was his own shadow, his dark side. The fight between them wasn't just a battle of strength, it was a battle of identity. Some Buddhist interpretations say that in order to truly become enlightened, Wukong had to defeat the part of himself that still clung to arrogance and violence. And when Buddha struck down the six-eared macaque, it wasn't just the end of a rival, it was the end of Wukong's past self. Story number 5. Wukong, the Buddha who refused to be a god when Wukong completed his journey and attained enlightenment. He was granted the title Victorious Fighting Buddha. But some ancient texts say he was once given an even higher title. Yes, there are stories that say that for a brief moment, Wukong was offered a place among the highest-ranking Buddhas. But you know what he did. He rejected it. Why? Because Wukong had finally understood something: true freedom does not come from power or titles. While other deities sought status, Wukong only wanted one thing: be free. So he walked away from the throne of heaven and returned to the mountains, choosing to roam the world instead of ruling over it. And that, my friends, is why Wukong will always be the greatest trickster, warrior, and sage in history. So, did you know these stories? Which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you love mythology, hit subscribe because we have plenty more legends to uncover. This was Tunneling Effect, and I'll see you in the next adventure.